Alright, today we are playing Soul Calibur II HD Online, but offline. We're going to be playing a run-through of the story mode. Well, more so arcade mode this time. The story mode is actually quite extensive and it's quite fantastic. We'll just get right to the title screen here. We're going to go to original mode and select arcade.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
Let's see, who should we play? Should we just go random? Every single battle you get to play with a different fighting set. Why not? Let's make it difficult for us. And every character normally you can taunt, but Charade can't do any special taunts because it doesn't have a mouth. So we're going to be playing with Shang Hua's fighting style for this round. So Soul Calibur II has always been a personal favorite of mine, and when I learned they were remaking it, I was really ecstatic. But it wasn't too much longer once the game was out that the Xbox One came out. And though it was fun to go back onto the 360 and play this game, it was quite a relief once it came to the Xbox One as backwards compatible. It would appear we're playing as Maxi. Oh no, Taki, the short blade ninjutsu style. Now, I like to say I'm a little self-proclaimed master at this game, but I only have friends to judge myself up against. And this is the first stage in arcade, so it will get much tougher. And we just beat Talum, who has like a double crescent blade. Or elbow blade, pardon me. She's one of my favorite fighting styles. We're going to be fighting with Raphael's weapon against Nightmare, who in this game, unlike his later games, is no longer Siegfried, or I guess is not Siegfried yet. He hasn't been departed from his body yet. And I got Ring Out. Well, we don't need to watch the rest of that. Yeah, it's a 2-round fighting style. You can switch up the settings, I believe. I just keep it with 2. Keeps it nice and short. Playing with Cervantes style right now. He has that attack right there, which you can spam. It's pretty strong. The AI can't really handle it. I believe it's called SNK. I could be wrong, could be DNK. It's, if you played a fighting game before, you know what I'm talking about. Playing as Yoshimitsu now. It's that thing where when you're fighting up against them, for some reason, how they know exactly the perfect moment when to guard, they actually read your button inputs and react in a split second to try to react, or to try to imitate difficulty. Which, I mean, a real player can guard other players' stuff in a split second as well, but you'll notice it with an AI how they'll just guard 4 to 5 attacks in a row when they shouldn't have any idea that's going to happen. Cassandra. That's what we're playing with against Ivy. Short sword and a shield. She's pretty handy. She's not as feminine or girly in this one. She gets really stupidly in Soul Calibur 4. It's actually because of Ivy we don't have Soul Calibur 5 yet. Or it was a hurdle. The development team, as of right now, is having a tough time. Well, actually more like almost a year ago now, trying to figure out Ivy's breast size. That's the entire reason behind a lot of development issues with that team, which is beyond ridiculous, because who cares? They've been removing more and more skin on her, which is fun, playing Shang Hua now, which is perfect because she doesn't need any sexualization. Let's be honest, she's just getting old, which, I mean, nothing against the old, but Soul Calibur 5 kept introducing a whole bunch of new characters because everyone was getting aged, and all the classics and all the favorites got removed. And one of the youngest characters, though, Talon, I believe she's like 16 in this game. For some reason, they got rid of her, which doesn't make any fucking sense because I got hit. She's the youngest, so at most she would have aged. I think it's supposed to be, I want to say 8 years, but I could be wrong. It could be 8, it could be 28. It doesn't matter. Talon would be completely capable of fighting. I think it's 8 years. Playing with her weapon, that's weird. I'm really good with her actually in Soul Calibur 4. Unfortunately, in Soul Calibur 2, her 3 blade forms are all in the same thing. She's not that good at kicking, but I can still do it. So yeah, because of Ivy, Soul Calibur 6 is super delayed. Now I'm hoping with Soul Calibur 6, the multiplayer, which came with Soul Calibur 2 HD, and 5, which was really on point actually. Matchmaking times were short. It was just really well balanced, and I always found you something, which was absolutely awesome. Playing with Youngstone's weapon now. So I'm hoping it has a combination of that. The character creation in 5 was very good. Unfortunately for me, they reused so many assets from 4. I didn't really feel anything special. And then what I liked about 4, though, because I think the even number ones are my favorite. Grapple them. I believe the even number ones are by far the best. Is the character creation in 4 gave you this armor system, which, I mean, armor can break in both games, but you got to allot your strength. I feel like 4 is more a full fleshed out game. 5 story is horrendous. You need 2 story, 4's character customization, and 5's online, and you would have a god tier game. Well, a god tier Soul Calibur. It's also one of the fighting games with the least amount of entries in it too. So just have some PlayStation exclusives, but I don't really care. Everyone usually remembers this game, awkwardly enough, even though it sold the least amount of consoles. Everyone remembers this game for the GameCube rendition, where they had Link in it. When they remade it, though, they gave both consoles, the PS3 and the Xbox 360, both Heihachi from Tekken and Spawn from Spawn, Fire Emblem. Now we get to face Cervantes as Cassandra. Yes. Oh no, Valdo. Okay. Valdo is also one of my least favorite characters to play against this game. I had a demo disc on my GameCube. It came with it, I believe, which I wish games would do that again. That was fun. It came with a demo disc, and it had, I don't know, 6 or 7 games on it. A couple were connected to the Game Boy Advance, and you can download play, which is really awesome. Just right here. Alright, buddy. Alright, cool. Yeah, and it came with Soul Calibur 2 as one of them. And you got to play as Cassandra and Cervantes. Or not Cervantes, Nightmare. And I was never ever good with Nightmare until Soul Calibur 4. I mean, I only played 2, and then I went to 4. Because 3 was just a waste of time, in my opinion. Again, for me, the odd number ones are weird. I even would take the original, Soul Calibur 0, Soul Edge, the arcade. That one's playable. I don't know what it is about the odd-numbered ones, though. That was lucky. I just decided to go. I'm using Cervantes now. Just spam this. Which doesn't work as good in this game as it did in Soul Calibur 4. And I still got it. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but success. So, I had Soul Calibur in my life for quite a while. My mother's fantastic at this game. Which, I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. She was as interested in playing this as I was. And was way better at it than me, because I was a kid at the time. I actually thought I had this game completed 100% for the longest time, and I thought I did. And the thing is, when this version of the game came out, the remake HD, which looks beautiful, well, pseudo beautiful, let's be honest, but I was going for an achievement to get all the, just get everything done 100%. I don't even know if that's an achievement. I got the achievements really quick in this, and I died. Ooh, I don't know how I'm going to do Mitsurugi. And I got to, I believe, 99.8% or 98.4, whatever it is. There's one challenge left, and I was like, oh, how do I didn't know how to get it. So I went over to my GameCube, and I was like, what is this challenge? And apparently in my GameCube, for like 8 years, I've had it sitting at like the 98.4, or like the one thing left. I wonder if I can hit it off. No, I can't. Like 1% left. So I actually got to finish an old GameCube game that's been sitting on. You only need one challenge left, which was something stupid like extra survival mode, play 5 matches. So I just went in there and lost 5 times really quickly and pulled it off. But I had never gotten to that point before, which was really cool. So I, in honor of that, I completed the GameCube game first, and then I went over to 360 and it says, oh, Raphael, really, dude. You can just spam his Y button on this, or his triangle, or his whatever you want to call it. And, I mean, it's really fast, so the AI, yeah, you saw it. It's ridiculous. Normally in this stage, you fight Link, I think. Maybe you fight Mitsurugi. I feel like I have a weird set. My destined battle is Cassandra. That's interesting. Well, that's the person that we've used her weapon of. See that fire right there? There are a lot of attacks in this game that are supposed to have that fire, and for some reason, I don't know what it is. For some reason in this remake, they got rid of all the fire, and I don't know if it was in every version or just the GameCube version had it, but the GameCube version had a lot of fire in it. Like, I thought I had it too. So coming to this, and like all of his attacks don't have the fire they're supposed to. They all have like a weird energy charge. I can't believe I lost that. Damn. It threw me off. I mean, it didn't take me too long to get used to it, but all of his, like even his camera. Ooh, that's a good time. So they have a theater mode where you can sort of watch them do weapon demos, and his thing is he's just an eyeball. He's floating around on the ground, and then he like gets together and bursts out like Super Saiyan style. And normally there's fire and a sound effect, and the sound effect isn't there, and the fire isn't there either, and it's quiet and awkward to watch. And if you never know, like that fire effect right there, like if you didn't know that was supposed to be there, it just kind of looks stupid. Which is a little unfortunate. Now I get to play as Maxi, which it's probably honestly my worst character in Soul Calibur 2. I think better with actually every character. Soul Calibur 2 is interesting too because it really lets you use every character in the story mode. Like there's certain things where characters will just be better. Like guard impacts, which is when you guard at the exact moment an enemy attacks and it repels their blade back and gives you a huge opening, gives you massive damage. Instances like that. This is Inferno. He follows the same rules as you. I believe he always starts with the Soul Edge as his weapon, and then you hit him 3 times and he'll change his weapon 2 more times after this. But if you lose, he'll just start off the get-go with a random weapon. But because I'll start this stage with 1 random weapon. I won't change every time he does, unfortunately. So whatever I get with right now, I'm going to be stuck with for the rest of the battle. Cassandra. Okay. Well, we'll find out here. I'm like a young him, it's great. Oh, see, sometimes they'll grapple, and that's annoying. See, I thought I could grapple, but I didn't. He also hits like a truck, as I'm sure you just saw there. He also has his own custom set of attacks, which it's completely garbage. And this stage is infinite, I believe, or it has an edge, but it's very, very far out there. Oh god, so they give him the big weapon. He's playing his Keelik right now, and I got KO'd. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not a huge fan of his mechanic. One other thing, I have to point this out. Oh, really, Shenghua? I have to pull this out. Is that sword he has in his body. It's a Soul Calibur. I don't know why, I don't know what they were thinking. This whole thing's about Soul Edge and they give him Soul Calibur. That sword in his chest on the GameCube version, and when they made this in HD, they stretched his body. And that weapon is supposed to be a thin blade. Shenghua has that blade in her. Like, or in her, as one of her weapons. Which is ironic that I'm using Shenghua right now. Wow, he cannot dodge a lot of her stuff. And the blade's supposed to be really thin, like it's a Chinese sword imitator. And no, for some reason he gets a thick looking Soul Calibur. I don't understand it at all. Oh, he has the same blade as me. But he gets our attacks. Oh, jeez, he's just... Oh, that was lucky. Not quite there. Yeah, for some reason they give him this really thick blade. And look at it. It's that now. It's tiny. And I don't know what they messed up, or if they went too far, or they just couldn't do it, or what they did. I think the model looks significantly better in this game for Inferno. Graphically, and I don't know, they kind of beefed him up. They made him bigger. But it was a brilliant design. Just that weird flaw was there. And then because Charade's the most random character in the game, it just doesn't know what it has to do, decides to return, and yeah, no, he's by far the weirdest story. He and Soul Edge formed together, and the Soul Calibur for some reason just chilled in the rock. So yeah, the arcade mode presents a tiny bit of a little story, nothing too significant. And the music decides to recycle because they couldn't create a long enough soundtrack to last more than 20 seconds. And they give you an extremely small amount of gold. And then they bang through all of these wonderful clear times. And one thing I don't actually understand about these clear times is they're for arcade rankings, right? And we didn't just take 31 minutes, right? We clearly cleared the time. So I have one up there for 6:02, and then I didn't get to put a name in for that one. And I have all these other times. Oh, that was just the one I just did. I got 3rd place. Wow. On the GameCube version, you had to enter your name every single time, sort of like it was a comic. Or arcade. Cool. Yeah, I have everything unlocked, so the title screen might look different to someone else's. But, yeah. I also have the music off, because it's loud. Yeah, in the GameCube version, every time you beat the arcade, you had to like enter your initials. And for the longest time, I was like, I don't understand. Where is my... Like, I don't get to enter my initials here. Like, how am I supposed to know which one's me? And no, it just takes whatever name you put in your gamer tag or something like that. One of them said Arusius. It was an old gamer tag, and now it says AY. So somewhere in the options, I'm sure you can change it. But anyway, thanks for joining me, if you did, for just a random little arcade playthrough of Soul Calibur II with Charade. I only lost once. Charade is probably the harder character. I mean, you have to be good with every single character, with the exception of the bonus characters, but they're mimics, in order to play them. So, anyways, thank you.
It means
Time to become the protagonist we're used to seeing. You get to be old.